Okay, sorry about being so late. We're looking up. Our washing machine's about had it. Still works, but it's just trying to walk off the premises. So, so we were trying to look for washer, and then we're looking at the ratings, and the ratings were kind of poor, and we're kind of going, oh man. And we're just trying different things, um, to be able to do it. And I guess we kind of decided that we would maybe see about repairing our current washer because it might be cheaper than actually buying a new one, which we don't really want to buy a new one anyways, exactly. Um, unless, um, unless we had like a bunch of money and could super expensive and be guaranteed that it works fine. If we had a bunch of money though, we could still repair our old one and wouldn't be a problem, right? But in any case, that's what I was doing all morning, so that's why I'm late. So you're gonna have to bear with me as I go ahead and post the link. Um, I'm just gonna kind of post the link to everything here. Of course, I have to move all of my apps here to over here to the side, and so you have to give me a few minutes before I actually get back to. Yeah, so okay, so this is the funny thing, right? Okay, so today it's pretty late, and I'm going to do a half hour, just a half hour break at the 90-minute mark. So it's going to be kind of like it used to be, although I'm still going to go ahead and do two streams to kind of keep parity with the other streams, basically. But so, um, so you're gonna have to bear with me for just a few minutes while I do a few things here, and one of them is, of course, opening YouTube and Rumble. By the way, I'm kind of surprised that some people don't really know what Rumble is, and most of you should, but occasionally some people don't. And Rumble is basically just another video platform, sort of like YouTube. It's not, I should say, it's not as robust. It's not as, I guess, good as YouTube. Um, I mean, you could say is good. I don't know if that's technically the thing, but so it's kind of like, yeah, it's not as yeah, robust, I guess. They have a they basically have a lot of crap, and I know YouTube has a lot of crap too, but it's like um it's like it's not quite as well curated, and um I don't know, they have a different way of doing stuff. So like for one thing, they seem to prioritize live a little bit. Um and then the other thing is that um I can come on the YouTube and I can find old movies all the time. Of course, YouTube video movies and when they're freebies, movies and TV shows. And then just general purpose, general entertainment stuff. You can find a bunch of do-it-yourself stuff. You can buy, and Rumble has it, but it's somehow it's not. I don't know. It's not as good, or it's not. You can't find it as easy or as you know. It's just not mature like YouTube is. Of course, YouTube's been around since like 2006, I think. I think is what it was. I think I actually got on around 2007, I think. I don't think I was here in 2006. I think just about a year after I got a there was a contest. You were supposed to make a video and I made it and it sucked. And it's probably on here somewhere still maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't delete anything, but I put I basically made most things like hidden, like non-public or whatever. Anywho, okay, so I know what while you're looking at staring at my head here, I've got to let me check my audio here. Is my audio on? Did I turn my audio on? Yes, I did turn my audio on. Why am I not hearing anything? Oh. because I don't actually have YouTube running. Okay, yep, everything sounds okay there. Okay. Um, so I guess here, let me do my thing here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and post this kind of brief here. And I'm just gonna post this everywhere here. So here, let's do this. 161 part 1. Okay. Post that. And even though it's probably a good thing to actually put the subject, I'm not putting it on here kind of on purpose. So give me a sec. Okay. Post. And post here. Live now. $161. Okay, post. All right, let's just close that, and then let's go into here. Going live now. At least somebody. Art and craft. Okay, it better be just arts and crafts. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's see here. Let's put the notifications after there, and then let's go ahead and shrink that. And new window. Yes, and let's shrink this. So back to Restream, and let's go ahead and let's put this over here in the corner. Up in the corner you go, and here, this will go closest to straight down a bit. Oh, not that much, not like that. Okay, there we go. That'll work. Okay, I think that works. Okay, give me another quick second. Yes. Okay. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and switch to desktop. So let's switch to desktop. Okay, there we go. So that you can't see what I'm doing over here. And okay, so let's go over to self-up promo. There we go. And let's go back up to Greggy's Discord. I almost should have my own Discord, maybe. I don't really know how to set one up though, or anything. So and so even though I'm a little bit late here, I should get not quite 3 hours here, but let's see here. I'm streaming self promo. Practice to merge concept art and level design in one shot around social media. Free manual and explore more of that so you can use it in your projects. That sounds kind of cool. Okay. And hold on, let me check. See, Games from Scratch always has something every single freaking day. Okay, let's go back to Greggy Me. Okay, that's good. And let's go ahead and I'm going to refresh my restream here. So, and nobody is been in the chat yet, so I'm gonna switch to chat. Okay, let's open things up. Alrighty. Okay, so yesterday I was almost done with this particular story beat about night school. Now, if you were watching or listening yesterday, you know I decided to give John our 3 challenges. So he goes in, he wants to ask some questions. He's finally able to get into the enrollment tent and pretty much anything on the grounds, and they won't let him. They won't answer any of his questions. They won't really let him ask them. They assume he's a trainee, so they direct him over to the challenge table, and then he's got to take on these 3 challenges, and then I decided I would the way I laid it out. I decided I would okay, let me see. Where's the thing here? Okay. Favorites. Okay, favorites. Open Redux. Redux, not Redot. Redot. And I'm almost ready to switch over to the layout tool project. Not the layout tool itself yet, because I haven't actually got anything working in scene yet. It's all still in the editor. Anyways, that doesn't matter. So, now let me show you here what we got here and what I'm dealing with for today. See this? Okay, actually, let's zoom out just a little bit. Can I zoom out just a little bit? Well, I mean, I can. Okay, that'll be all right, right there. If you notice here, enrollment tent, challenge table, trial by gauntlet, trial by combat, trial by mount, trial by combat, trial by gauntlet, trial by gauntlet, trial by mount, trial by mount, trial by combat. Okay, so I decided to do this configuration. While it's not quite as interesting in that you can't do everything in every order that you want to do it in, I decided I would do this to limit the number of pages I have to write or duplicate, and then also because I'm changing it up because I've done the 15. It's the 15 pages. So basically, what it is you have 3 choices, and then those 3 choices will each have the 2 remaining choices. 2 remaining choices. That is 6. That is 6. So it's 3 plus 6, which is 9, plus 3 more, because then at the end of each choice is the final one, which is a single. So it's going to be 6 more on the bottom, which is a total of 15 pages. Now I could do that everywhere if I wanted to, but I'm trying to keep things changed up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to try to look and see in the future, because I've got a couple of odd configurations which allows you to skip part of it. You know, I don't want you to skip too much of it, but at the same time, to keep things fresh and to keep them from being kind of sort of monotonous. I'm gonna be doing different kind of configurations. But so this is the basic 3x3, which means you only get 3 choices, and then the other 2 choices are just dictated by order. So this is Gauntlet, Combat, and Mount right here. Gauntlet, Combat, Mount on the top. But since this is Combat, now we have Gauntlet and Mount. And then since this is Mount, we've got Gauntlet and Combat. So that way it still covers all 3 of them, and you don't get as much, you don't feel as much agency, but it keeps it, it makes sure that there's not the same of any one type of thing. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it in this fashion here. But here's the thing. If you notice here, again, like I was starting to draw attention to and I got distracted, that if you notice there's nothing filled in here, that's because somehow I didn't save it, which makes me an idiot. Okay, not really a total idiot, but it's kind of annoying. I thought I had saved it and I didn't save it. So I am going to go ahead and go back to my old stream from yesterday. I'm still gonna okay, so I have to catch up on those. I'm still gonna do two parts. They're approximately 90 minutes, minus my setup time that I had just gone through, and then also minus any closing time because I'm gonna make sure that 5 o'clock is actually late for me. So I'm gonna make sure that I am on time and that I am out of my room at 5 p.m., which means I'm gonna shut down a little bit early so I can get all the recording and extra things done, that sort of thing. Okay, that being said, we have a little over an hour until my break, which will be a half hour, but I am going to do it in two streams, so I'm actually going to shut it off, come back after my 30 minutes are up, and then restart a new stream, just so I can keep parity with the other streams. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to head over to YouTube, the YouTubers, and what do we got? Flipbook of the Rings. This frame from Aladdin doesn't exist, so why is it everywhere on the internet? I have no clue. Okay, this is not Superman flew 1978. No CGI, no green screen. That is actually not true. They actually did use. There was two things that they used in 1978. One is they actually did use blue screen. Not all of the shots are blue screen. Obviously, all the takeoff and landing is just playing on wires. They basically um, uh, they basically have a special wire that is not really visible on film, and it's not that it's super thin. It's just I don't know, somehow the color profile or maybe the reflectivity or something somehow makes it invisible to camera. So like when you see in the movies now, sometimes when you see some of these at home, although Superman still held up pretty good, but when you see some of these at home, you're able to see the wires. I watch old TV shows that are clear, that probably have high def remasters, and you can actually see the wires, whereas originally they wouldn't saw them. Partly because if it was on TV, it would be invisible, and then of course if you're watching the film, it's also invisible to film. But okay, so um, so whenever he took off and whenever he landed, it was um, it was practical on wires. But whenever you see him like flying around the Statue of Liberty, and I think that was in Superman 3, but whenever you see him doing like long distances and stuff, he was definitely on a blue screen. In fact, they actually had a little bit of a problem because the blue suit, and it's something weird about this image too. It almost looks like he has a shoulder pad because he has his arm back. And from what I understand, is Christopher Reeve actually worked out, and so he has some real muscles. I mean, they're not huge, like kind of like today's bodybuilders, I guess, but they're actually all his real muscles. So I don't know what the deal is with that. If that maybe is part of the harness, or if that is a shoulder pad, or some artist thing. Because if you look here, the color is nice, nice red, nice blue, and so somebody obviously uh, uh, took this photo and made sure it looked really nice, because um, on film it probably wouldn't have looked as nice. But anyways, there was a thing with the blue screen, so his suit was kind of tinted sort of greenish. If you watch some of the flying scenes when he's on blue screen, um, the uh, the suit's kind of greenish. Other times they're just using back projection and they're doing it all on set, and they're doing a lot of it in camera. So I'm not saying that they didn't. No CGI, no green screen. Well, yeah, no green screen because they never used green screen back in the day. They only started using green screen with digital, and that doesn't mean that there's anything inherently that particular about green screen and digital. Some say that you get some sort of cleaner with, I guess with blue, maybe you get some problems doing that video or something. I don't know. When they started using actual video, green screen is where we do it. Chroma key can actually use any color, um, which they did typically use blue when they were shooting on video, but you could do any color with chroma key. Chroma key is an electronic signal, so whatever the signal was for for the color information. Anyways, I'm doing what I always do, so apologies for that. Okay, so let's go to your videos, and then let's go to lives. Look at that. 7, 11, 7, 9. But look at some of these other ones. This one has 50. I have no clue why this has 50 on there. Is it because of the screen? I don't do thumbnails, and I really don't do titles. I do Enchanted Lands Magical Resort Phase 1 Devlog 30. And here I started, oh, interesting, Update 33. See, I even changed to how I wrote this one. And maybe the title is, maybe I should still do the full physical, like this one, like devlog. Anyways, this says update devlog 32. Maybe I can change those. It doesn't really matter. What I need to do here is I need to go to yesterday. I need to go to part 1, and I need to view it. And so we're gonna view it here, and let's here. Let me mute the other over here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute. There, I'm gonna mute that. And then here's my please wait, which I didn't do today. And let's see some here. Let me see if I can. Okay. So I'm gonna go to where I changed some of this here. And basically, because at some point I put all these, and then I, trial by Gauntlet, that, etc. and so forth. There's gonna be a point where I had this configured, and I configured the doors, and then let's see. I don't even know if I can read some of this stuff, which, I have since I started, I used higher quality settings, and so I don't have as high quality of settings here now, so I might not even be able to read some of this, and so I'll have to do it from memory, which is, my memory is usually kind of shoddy a little bit. We'll see. Oh yeah, let's forget that. Forget that. Forget that. That. Okay. Okay. So, at least I'll be able to read that anyways. I don't know if I'll be able to read it later on, but finally John decides to enter the enrollment tent. Okay. Let's see what I put there. So I have to bump it. Wait a second. Doggone it. Okay. So this is how okay. Let's actually shrink this down, and let's pull up redot. And I'm gonna, okay, I see what I did. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead over here to, now I might have everything in here, so let's see if I have everything in here. Yes. Okay. Finally go, okay, he goes to the enrollment tent. Okay, so enrollment tent is gonna be my actual first thing here. Okay. Realize that. And so now let's go. Okay. Wait, what? Well, let's see if I got that there because I might have. No, we're already at the challenge table. Hold on a second. Okay, we'll play. Doggone ya. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm drinking another Pepsi. How original. Oh, there's the S that I put in there accidentally because I was trying to save and it put the S in there. And what did I put in here? Hit 1 to continue is all I put in there, huh? Come on, Keith. Hurry up. Um, okay. All right. Okay, hit 1 to continue. Oh, so hit 1 if you want to. You want John to complete the trial by Gauntlet. Uh, Gauntlet combat. Okay. Trial by. Hurry up. Trial by mount. Okay, that's all we got. Okay, so let's go back here. Hit 1 to continue. Okay. Then let's go down here. I'd much rather use the scroll wheel to move it up and down rather than, I mean, I can do this, I guess, but okay. Challenge table. So let's bring up the challenge table. Okay. Hit 1 to pick trial by Gauntlet. 2 to pick trial by combat. Hit 3 to pick trial by mount. Okay. Okay. And let's do the thing that I didn't do before, which is save room data. Save it every time. Okay. Now, this is all pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Hit 1 to go to the next thing, to go to the next thing. You know, hit 1 to go to the next challenge. Hit 1 to go to the final challenge. You know, like that. I think that's what I do here. Well, hurry up, Keith. Let's just go ahead and to continue to trial by combat. I might just go to the next challenge and next challenge, like so on. Maybe I will. Okay, right. Oh, that's not what I want. Pause it. Okay, so let's go back in here. Actually, I'm gonna full screen it because I don't we'll see here. Okay. Enter hit 1 to continue to the next challenge. Okay, so we're just gonna do that. Control C. Actually, let's wait. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it. Control C. And we're going to go into this one, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. Control V. Control V, like so. And then the next one, we are going to go ahead and Control V, hit 1 to continue to the final challenge. Okay, and we just do that. Control C. We're gonna go to this one right here. Control V. Does that. Make sure I copy that correctly. And this one, same way. Control V. Okay. Now we do the final one, and I guess by mount because that was the last one. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Meanwhile, Hubert is devising way into Wizard View. Okay, and then we're just going to copy this. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to put the same thing in there, but the only difference here is oh, doggone ya. Meanwhile, the opposite direction, Hubert is advising the way to Blizzard University. Okay. Meanwhile, in another part of the kingdom, Hubert is figuring out how to enter Wizard U. Okay. Now let's go ahead and save room data and make sure everything is saved. And then probably the next thing, well, I don't know. We'll see what extra thing I do here. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Okay, so into the enrollment tent. I'm just trying to see what I put in and go ahead and put them in again. It's going to take up time, obviously, but it'll be quicker this time because I'm not trying to think stuff up. I'm just basically copying stuff down. So, okay. So let's go ahead and check that out. And let's go ahead and go to Redot. Go ahead and minimize it again. Enrollment tent. Okay. In the enrollment tent. All right. Okay. John enters the enrollment tent and notices single man in royal garb, royal, at a small makeshift desk. John attempts to ask him a few questions. Only to have the officer stop him and direct him toward the challenge table. Okay. The challenge table has 3 knights. Has 3 knights looking as though they're waiting for someone. Okay, well, just, well, 3 knights. Ready to conduct the challenge. Okay, let's just go ahead and say okay. We'll go ahead and Control S. We'll go ahead and save room data. And now we go to the challenge table. Okay. This is going to take all the time I have just to do this part. And I thought I was going to get done today with this particular story beat. Apparently, I was wrong. Okay. Oh, no. I think, okay, so the challenge table. Okay. Now at the challenge table, again, on to ask questions. The knights stop him and ask him which challenge he wants to complete. When he tries a couple more times, they only counter with a challenge. Okay. What challenge? Okay. That's probably okay. Go ahead and we're going to save every little bit of the way. Okay. Wonder if I have anybody watching in here. 3 of you guys. That's something anyways. Okay, so this is where I go in and okay. So basically I do this copy things where I make up the deals and then so let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. And all right, so next thing I need to do is, I guess, the trial by Gauntlet, which is the first one here. And we're just going to go ahead and type what I typed yesterday. John has to run an obstacle course. After a few failures, he manages to succeed and then goes on to the next challenge. Okay. Control C. Okay. Save data. Okay. Now I'll go to the other gauntlets. And the other gauntlets are 8 and 9, I believe. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and do this on my own here. 8, 9. Okay. So let's go to the other gauntlet ones. B. Okay. The gauntlet is an obstacle course which John finishes after a few failures. He then moves on to the it after a few and then goes on to the last challenge. That okay. Let's go ahead and go to 9. We're gonna put this in 9. Gauntlet, an obstacle course. John finishes after a few failures. Then goes on to one more challenge. Okay. And let's go ahead and save room data. And then, of course, I guess the next one is combat. Combat, combat, combat. Okay. So let's go back to, back to the thing. The thing. Okay. Let's go to Hmm. Then goes on to the next challenge. Fight a masked opponent. He manages to win the fight. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and... Did I stop? Pause it? Yeah, I paused it. Okay. Let's go to combat. Pull this up. John chooses... trial by combat. He's given his choice and weapon and shield. He then manages to barely beat his opponent and then gets ready for the next challenge. Next test. Okay. Let's copy this. Click OK. Let's go to combat here. And go ahead and put this in here. And then we go ahead and John faces an anonymous opponent and manages to beat him at the sword. Comes anonymous opponent and manages to beat him at the sword. Face an opponent, comma, manages to beat him with the sword, comma, and then gets ready for the next test. Control C. Nope. No. See? Final challenge. Final challenge. Okay. Okay, trial by combat, trial by combat, trial by combat. Okay. John faces... John manages to win the trial by the sword. And then gets ready for the next test. Okay. Control S. Save room data. Okay. Now the only thing we have left is the mount. Okay, so mount. Maybe I'll just go ahead and put it in here by myself, anyways. For the trial by mount, John must unseat his opponent at the joust. After doing so, he then prepares for the next test. Okay. Okay, that's mount. Copy. Where's the other mount? The other mount point. Okay. What the heck? What the double heck? Alright, fine. Mount again. Copy. Click here. Let's go ahead and for his final challenge, John unseats his opponent in the joust. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is where he gets asked his questions. He is then able to ask the commander some questions regarding the school. Okay. Shall see. Actually, let's copy both of these. Shall see. Over here. John finally beats his opponent at the joust. He then asks the commander some questions regarding the school. He then asks the commander some questions regarding the school. Okay. And then for this one, let's go back down here. And finally gets to ask some questions. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hmm. Actually, what did I do yesterday? Let's see what I did yesterday. Let's bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it, bump it. Keep going. Because commanders tend to talk to him. Oh, okay. All right, because I haven't did mount yet. Okay, so let's finally gets to ask questions. I guess that was about it for yesterday. All right. So let's. I was going to actually modify a few things here yesterday, anyway. So let's go ahead and check this out. He's able to ask. And okay. He then heads to the commander's tent to ask him some questions. Questions regarding the school. Okay. Finally gets to ask some questions. Okay. So the thing here is, I'm gonna do a little book ending, and we're gonna create one more room here. And where's the deal? In fact, I'll show you what I do when I move everything up too. So, okay. Hey, Rook, welcome to the stream. I actually got started way late today, so I'm actually working on. I'll be going to like 5 o'clock today, and I have a little bit less time. I was looking at washers all morning. The washing machine wants to jump out and you know, run into the wall and whatever. Or as I say sometimes, the washer wants to commit suicide, so it's attempting to do just that when it shakes when it's on spin cycle. So we've been looking for stupid washing machines, and none of the ratings are too good. And we're looking at the prices, and they don't seem that great either. Even when you get into the higher priced ones, the ratings don't seem that great. So we're possibly looking into opting into getting a repairman out to fix our washing machine. Probably save money. If it's We'll say if it's below $500, we'll probably be saving money. Good for another 20. Bolt it down. That's a thought. I don't know how we would do that in ours. We got ceramic tile, and the way these are built, it's I'm not even sure if it's on like a regular foundation. I suppose it's got to be, but I'm not 100% sure about that. The way that they put these together, I mean, it's a house, but it's just barely a house, basically. Kind of. It's not that bad. It's just I'm not really sure what's underneath, and drilling holes into ceramic tile and stuff. I don't know anything about that, and I also don't know how to bolt it down. Anyways, we would have to have some sort of mounting bracket or mounting point or something to do that. But you never know. Um, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a new room here, and I'm going to call it Night School 13. Let's go ahead and call this Night School 13. Give me a second. Night School Shul. Why is that going so slowly? 13. Okay. And I'm actually going to move that whole wizard U thing. So this is actually the point where he gets to actually ask some questions here. So, it's a bit of a joke. Repairman sounds like a good idea as long as the drum isn't loose. Yeah. Well, I mean, he'll probably tell us. Well, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be. It's unbalanced. It's got to be the drum somehow. Somehow the I don't know if they use springs or whatever they use for it to stabilize it or whatever. It also it's got this now, I'm not sure if every washer has this, and I haven't been able to find any documentation now. Supposedly, it has this thing where it'll re-level your load if it seems unbalanced. So supposedly, it has some way of detecting that. And I thought it was in the documents, and I'm pretty sure we had it. And what it said was that the knocking around and stuff was normal because occasionally you'd hear it knock around, right? So it would kind of do this thing like this. Here nowadays, it just on the spin, it just like shakes up a storm and like it practically walks out the door, you know. But so I don't know. It's got to be some sort of thing, the stabilizing thing. Maybe the balancer, load balancer thing is messed up or something. I don't have a clue. But anyways, so we're gonna look into seeing how much it costs. We think it'll be a little bit more cost effective just to get it repaired. We've had this thing for 10 years, and so that means it's a fairly okay, fairly decent washer. You know, it's only in the last year or two that it's started really acting up. So, oh, look at that! Looks like almost looks like I have a mosquito bite on here. I don't normally get mosquito bites. I mean, I do in the past. Occasionally get a mosquito bite, but that's not good. I want I don't want mosquito bites here. I have to do some I don't know bug spraying or something out here. Darn it. I mean, it's got to be some sort of bite. I figure mosquito bite. It's kind of itching. The bump. Okay. Anyways, let's go back to this, and let's go ahead and grab one of these. Wait, night school. Here we go. Night school 13. Here, let's grab this one. Let's get the door specs. Let's copy that. Let's go over. Oh, let's go back up here. Let's go to his door specs. Let's go ahead and Control V and paste. Okay. And do that. Let's see here. What else? Instead of going to Wizard View, it's going to actually go to this other deal. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and check the door. Let's go ahead and copy. Let's go ahead and go in here. Let's put, and we're going to say to 13. 13. Control C. Then we're going to edit each of the door specs. We're going to Control V and we'll do the same thing here. Control V, that. And we're going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to save the room data. And yes, it gets all wonky. Wait a second. What's 13, Night School 13? This is going correctly. These should be going to oh. Oh. Night School. Night School is 13. Okay. This is actually 13 here. And we'll save the room data. And here, let's go ahead and bring this down just a hair. I need to also figure out something, maybe if there's anything to do about like performance or something, because this gets kind of sluggish, especially when there's going to be like a million lines on here. Although I do have a thing where it will only update. It will update each line unless I pass a false to it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Pull this down here a little bit. Pull this down here a little bit. Oops. A little bit. Here. Pull this down. Pull this down. Down. Working in the coal mine, go on, down, down, working in the coal mine, about to slip down. Okay. Anyways, enough of that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and modify these just slightly. We are going to go ahead and that. And we're going to put that in here. And hit 1 to continue. So, okay. So it's a little bit shorter. I am going to, even though I'm only taking a 30-minute break today, I'm going to do what I did. I'm going to shut off the stream and I'm going to do a part 2. And it'll only be 90 minutes as well, minus some closing up time. So I'm done at 5 o'clock because 5 is a little bit late for us. So, okay, nothing here yet. Yes, nothing here yet. That's fine. Okay. So now, let's go here. We're going to do this, and over here, we're going to go ahead and delete from here too as well. That way, I'll be able to finish up, and we will ask some questions. Okay, so in here we want hit 1 to go and ask the commander a few questions. I guess that'll be okay. I mean, that's still like second person, even though really you're controlling John. But I guess I'll just go ahead and leave it. One to continue to continue to the commander's hint. Okay, we'll leave it like that. And then hit 1 to continue. Because we already said the commander. And we're going to save the room data. And we are going to say now we're gonna okay. So now I gotta figure out some questions for him to ask. I don't know about cleaning up that other bit there, but here. Finally able to ask some questions. He asks the commander about the let's see. I don't know what he should be asking. Okay, so he's gonna find out they're using real weapons and stuff. Um, well, he already kind of found out about it because he went through the test. Um, he first asks about whether the weapons and the induction process are real. The commander tells him that the Enchanted guard must be ready at all times, and since there's not many tourists, they've decided to use night school as it was originally intended. Let's see. He also tells John that there's something big going on at the castle, and and uh, that it has something to do with the closures. Okay, so there's a thing here though. Question here is, do I have anything that tells them of the okay, so the original text was Princess is gonna speak, never made it. The knights are using real weapons. He decides to enter the enrollment tent. Okay, so I don't have John doing anything. Let's see. If I am able to go anywhere he wants. Okay, so we're gonna. Whoops. Let's see, what time is it? I got less than 10 minutes. I'm gonna modify this slightly. John decides to start exploring the grounds and talking to people. Apparently, Princess Prep was according to some gossiping princesses. Let's see. I was gonna say, oh yeah. A special guest was invited to Princess Prep, but she never but she didn't but she never made it there. Recognizing John. They figure he must have been the tourist that entered the train that the princess was on. Furthermore, the headmistress at Princess Prep has been missing for months. Okay. John decides to enter the enrollment tent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Dragons are terrorizing. Okay, so the dragons terrorizing small villages. Okay. Let's go back down to the enrollment, the commander's tent. Anyways, let's go here. Finally, he mentions that... Okay, wait. Finally, he mentions that it's a good thing the night school reverted to its original... What word am I looking for? I guess mandate. Mandate's not really what I'm looking for, but it'll work. Since now all the friendly dragons are now terrorizing small villages. Meanwhile, Hubert's diving away to Wizard U. Okay. So now, I did cover a lot, it looks like, but I did cover some stuff. And now, it looks like I completed the story beat. Finally got that one finished, which is a good thing. And I guess... Okay. Okay, so let's do... here, let's make sure everything is saved properly. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to copy all of these. What? How long do I have to... Okay. Okay, let's see if I can... Okay, let's see if I can move it. There we go. Alright. Nothing's weird here. Anything weird here? Nope, nothing's weird here. Okay. Save. Save room data. Alright. Now we're now aligned with that and with that, because I'll have to do new. I have to drag it. Okay, so in the layout tool, I am going to actually be able to probably create new rooms underneath the cursor. So wherever the cursor is, well, not entirely true. Maybe I might do a grab and move. So you still click on the button, but instead of, well, for one thing, it's going to I think it's going to place it in the center of the viewport. So it's going to be kind of in the center of the screen where it shows up, and then you're going to be able to select it. So that way it's always in the center of the screen. Here it's always right here at the origin. So whenever I add a new one, it's going to add it to 00. So instead it looks like 2:55. Looks like it's a good place to stop part one of the stream. And thanks for joining, especially you, Rook, I guess. So you only have two, even though I did advertise everywhere, I only have two people viewing it right now. So, I mean, that's the way that goes. But anyways, I guess I'll see you in about half an hour, which is what I'm going to do in my break today. So go ahead. I'm going to end this particular stream, and then I'll reload the stream, and well, I'll continue on with the layout. So see you in a bit. Thank you for watching part 1.